Stay tuned for my friend Rich's story. He's traveled all over the world and has landed here in Woodland Park, Colorado to come to Charis Bible College. Hey friends, thank y'all so much for tuning into today's Charis Talks. And I've got my friend RichKanyali here today. I've been looking forward to this. I really have, man.
Thank you.
Yes. So, first question, where are you from?
Well, let me see if I remember. I got it. Uganda.
Uganda.
Kampala.
Kampala.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, awesome. And what year are you right now?
Third year ministry school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So you said you're from Uganda, and I've got to ask you a question. Did you do all of your Charis Bible College here in the Woodland Park campus?
No, sir.
Okay.
I did my first year correspondence. Then I came for my second and third year.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
What's the, or how'd you hear about Charis?
Well, the way I heard about Charis, at that time I was living in India, and Mr. Andromak was on TV and was speaking, and then at the end of his show, he said, check out Charis Bible College. So from there, I checked out one that was in India, in Chennai. Then I realized the guy was speaking to me to come to the one in Colorado. I didn't know about Colorado. I didn't know when I would ever come to the U.S., but God spoke to me that way. So I said, you know what? I'll go to the one in Colorado, U.S. You
did correspondence, and you moved here to the United States to do Charis Bible College. What's the biggest revelation you think you've gotten since you've been here? And I know it's hard to narrow that down to one, but
well, interesting.
Yeah.
I'd say personally the biggest revelation is, learning to minister from the overflow of your relationship with God.
Yeah.
I think many times when we minister things that we just read on paper, but I believe if you've lived it and God has dealt with you in certain situations, I think that overflow helps you to minister easily from something that you already have inside of you.
If there's any question that I could ask you right now, what would that question be, and then what's the answer? And that can be, whatever, like if God's got something on your heart or there's something deeper about Rich that you want to share.
Well, nothing really deep about Rich, but in context of what we're talking about, I'll say this. I was thinking about this and I was like, why Charis? Maybe that's the question I want you to ask me, and this is an answer that I'll give to someone who's watching. Charis Bible College for me has been very transformational in my life. When I got here, I saw all ages, from 17, 18 to maybe 78, 80. Man, it was very impactful for me because looking around, I was like, you know what? If someone is out there and is young and says, maybe I'll go when I'm 30, you can still come when you're 18. Someone out there, they're like 60, 70, they're like, man, I'm too old for that. No, we have people older than that there here at Charis Bible College. So I really felt like, for me personally, it was very impactful. And if you're out there and you're thinking about Charis Bible College, nothing should stop you. If you're young, you're old, show up. We have all those people here. Yeah.
So you just kind of answered my last question. So what would you tell somebody that's watching right now? Maybe they just stumbled along and they're like watching some YouTube and then your story comes up. What would you tell that person that's watching right now?
Well, I would say this way. Anybody that's watching, if God is putting this in your heart, it's not the devil. It's God definitely that's putting this desire in your heart to come over here to this place. One thing that I did before I came, I prepared. Some people got me to tell you to just leave and go. But personally, I knew ahead of time that I was coming here, so I prepared. So if you know ahead of time, I just encourage you to prepare and come down to Charis Bible College. And there are many campuses around where you are. You could start from there. Charis Bible College is near you, so please check it out.
So what did you do, like you said, prepared? What did you do? What steps did you feel like God was kind of leading you to prepare to come out?
Yeah, personally what I did is I saved up my money for first, second, third year. So when I came, I just paid cash. You have to worry about tuition and all that good stuff. So that was easier for me. So I think it was a good strategy because there was no worry and, fears and all those things. So for me, I think it was a good move. Yeah.
I think it was.
Thank you.
And I've got just a kind of a little bonus question. So you said you're from Uganda.
Correct.
You spent a little time in India.
Yes.
Now you're in the United States. What do you think's next for you?
Well, maybe I'll travel all the world. I don't know. But what's next after this? Don't you ask me?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be around. I like Colorado. I like the U.S., so I'll be around the U.S. I think my call is in the U.S.
Yeah.
I consider myself a missionary from Africa to the U.S. Back in the day, missionaries came from the U.S. to Africa, but I think this time around, personally, I am one of the missionaries from Africa to the U.S.
Ah,
isn't that awesome?
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it
very
is.
unique. Praise God.
It is.
Yeah.
And also, you're an author too, aren't you?
Oh yeah, praise God. I forgot that one. Yeah, by the grace of God, again through coming to Charis Bible College, it really helped me to, get going in writing and publishing. So yeah, 2 books so far.
2 books.
Yes, sir.
What are the titles? And give me like a little brief synopsis.
Well, the first one is called Jesus, God or Man.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I wrote that book was before I got born again, I almost became a Muslim. And so when I got born again, I still struggled with the fact that if Jesus was God or man. So I started the journey of studying Scripture and discovering Scripture that proves the fact that Jesus was truly God or man. So that's the birth of that book, and that's really what I'm talking about. I'm presenting the truth that Jesus was God 100% and was man 100%. My second book is called Good Health and Long Life, Another Perspective. The reason why I wrote about that book is because, we live in a world where everybody talks about eating healthy, going to gym, which is okay, but I felt like something was missing, which is really living a godly life. People don't talk about that, but I think that's the most important thing that people have now really talked about. It's really important for really living a godly and a healthy life.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Rich, thank you so much for being on the show.
All right,
today.
thank you for having me.
And hey, we'll probably have some links down below for maybe some links for his books. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to today's Charis Talks.
Thanks for watching this episode of Charis Talks. To learn more about Charis Bible College, visit our website today.
Hey friends, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of today's Charis Talks. Is God speaking to you? Are you wanting more information about Charis Bible College? Click this link below, get a little more information. Also, if you've enjoyed this testimony, like, share, and subscribe to this channel to hear more awesome stories of what God's doing here in Charis Bible College.